Hello, fellow builder. So this is something which is really cool. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Ha! More confused, ain't you? I haven't even told you or shown you yet, but it is awesome. 7 Days to Die is finally implementing block placement stability indications. What does that mean? Well, in a nutshell, as you build and before you place down that block, you'll be able to see if the whole thing is going to be supported or there's going to be a collapse. Why this wasn't done before is almost bizarre, as when you're building, this is just such a needed feature. They've gone with something similar to what I saw in Valheim, where this nice coloration of the ghost block outline. Green is good, yellow is getting worse, and red pink means that it's all coming down. So build in that thumbs up, like button, and subscribe, and let's listen to Fatal.
Alright, so that is it with vehicles, and the last thing I have is block placement. So if you get yourself some nice wood blocks, we can have fun with stability. And
what's our basic block
just
called?
Do, the cube one or whatever, wood. If you type in wood and get the one with the shape icon on it, that doesn't look like it. You may have to hit the filter on the top left corner, the little wood icon underneath the word all.
There it is. You got it.
Yeah, there it goes. For some reason that shape one doesn't. I'm not sure what the rules are for that. So basically, if you just build something up like 3 or 4 blocks and then start building out horizontally. Oh, and that's another thing I forgot about. You guys are seeing the new block animation. We'll call it an animation. Really, it's just moving the preview around. The preview now has a smooth, interpolated thing. You see how that's turning yellow? Now what's going to happen? It's red. Go ahead and place it. Uh-oh, there goes your blocks. So yeah, it basically what it's doing now is it's calculating stability on the fly, and it's giving you a hint with the color of what's going to happen as you place those blocks. So you can see that's going to collapse. So if you go back to the root, without ruining your creation there, and you were to reinforce it, you would see that you'd be able to build out further if you added more blocks, made it like say 3 or 4 wide. Yeah, and pretty much that works in almost all cases. There's probably a few edge cases still to where the shader is like the wrong color, but it's pretty rare. In all the typical building cases, it seems pretty reliable and solid. And when it turns red, 99% it's going down. But yeah, someone asked if you could collapse POIs easier and faster. I mean, sure you could, because when you're placing blocks on it, you'll see when it turns red, or you'll at least be able to know you're getting more and more yellow, meaning you're headed towards red, and it will collapse. I'm not sure that it really helps you collapse it faster. It just tells you where you're headed. But yeah, so and the general look of the whole preview frame has changed. The way it glows and looks, it's been cleaned up. Now, if you go and find something like the drawbridge, Lathan, if you pick like the drawbridge is a pretty good example. If you just grab the drawbridge, the creative menu.
Got it.
Yeah, it's just the regular one. I guess that's it.
Yeah, let's just hit on the ground.
So if you were to place that like on the side, like try to put that in a stupid spot where it's not going to stay up. It should turn pink to basically tell you it's not stable. If it's a little tricky. Normally you have to, if you go back to the blocks that you added and try to put it where it's just slightly over. Yeah. See how like you had it for a second there. See how it's turning pink? If you place it there when it's pink, it's just plain falling. So it does tell you that it's gonna fall. Yeah, there you go. And in that case, it actually brought the other blocks with it. Oops. A lot of times it would just fall without any other blocks coming with it. It does not impact mining and cave-ins. The stability is basically the same in the game. We did make, with the block changes to get rid of like cobblestone and the reinforced concrete, we did change some of like the glue values that are used by wood. It's actually a little bit sturdier. I think wood is now sturdier than it used to be. But the whole point of that system is not to change what's happening. It's simply an indicator of how stable things are that you're building them. It's like not making you dig through caves faster, slower, or anything different. And it only affects when you're placing blocks. If you're upgrading blocks, there's still no way to know what's going to happen when you upgrade that block, because we don't try to tint blocks that are already placed in the world. I mean, that could be a feature we add someday, but that's a very different can of worms, is to take a pre-existing block and to try to put a ghost frame around it and guess its stability, because whatever it's going to upgrade to is going to turn into something else. That's a whole other can of worms, trying to make that work and sort that out. And that is everything for me.
Wow, just wow, I love it. It's going to save so many problems when you're building, where you think it's all good and then you place a block and things are collapsing. Now, it's not going to prevent you from collapsing your base if you're hacking away at supports that you didn't know held it all up, but it'll save a lot of time and effort when you're actually building it. I love it. Do you? Let me know below, and do hack away at that like button for me. See you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the Vedui community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.